Hello, good evening. Welcome, Mac, Willow, Theron. Hope you are all
This game needs more paper decker.
so true. Thank you for the lizards. Here they come. Hello, GQ. Hello, Liari. Where are the lizards? Where are the lizards? They'll be here. They're coming, right? Oh my gosh, Liari, thank you for the 35 stream streak. Where are my alerts? Where are my lizards? Oh, there they come. There they come. Okay. Whew. Had me worried. Worried sick. I am sick. BT dubs. It's getting there. That must be it, yeah. I'm going to be stepping away for bedtime stuff in a few minutes, but for now, we're going to talk about the plan. Illness and death are not permitted within the Citadel. Uh-oh. Still not in 4.6. It went bad. It went bad. Let me listen in on this. Hold on. I may need to go down earlier than expected. We'll see. Tonight's plan is controller remapping. And that's a scary thing. Oh, I love Rat Race 2001. I got Smash Mouth in that. Plan is... hair in my mouth? It's like posies. Can I get a hat wobble? We're gonna add to the settings menu a new button for what is it gonna do? What is the new button? New button is gonna bring up a panel for controller remapping. So what we need to do is we need to do that. New button. New button. Controller remapping. And we're going to start with just this. I'm just going to start with a function. Let's see here. Godot. Control remapping. There is a function. Now let's see here. Let's hold the phone. There are likely. Yeah, there are plugins available. So that's worth considering. So, all right, here's the big gotcha, the big wrench in the works. And that is that this game supports keyboard or controller, and it actually does things differently based on which one you have active. So the general rule of thumb is it just detects whatever the last input, the last, I guess, focused input was, and then behaves accordingly. It really only makes a difference with the rotation controls. There's a few places in the game where you rotate the control stick to do things. If you're on keyboard, that's not gonna fly. So it actually accepts a different type of input if you are not detected as being on controller. So when you are remapping, go a little bit out there, a little bit, almost fourth wall breaky. There will be something that touches on the subject, I guess. Late game. Let's see here. Control remap. How does it work? Let's look at this, at the actual code here. Get button. Like, what does it actually do when we do a remap? Input map sub action. Okay. Map. Map input. Right. Oh. We gotta do emotes at some point, 100%. It's really just a matter of when do we get around to it. What's the license on this? MIT license. Okay. A spinning horse. I do have a spinning horse. That's one. I'd like to do a whole set of like actual drawn emotes that are intended to be used as actual emotes, with Paper Robot as the unifying theme. How does this actually work? How do you remap controls in Godot? Runtime rebinding. That's I'm not interested in. All right, I will be back.
You know, it's funny you should ask. Funny you should mention that. Because that was the one thing that had to be included. Now I am ready for Halloween. Except I need the bit donations to be actually real. Yeah, everything just a little bit stretched and skewed, I think is the way to go here. I've really captured... Hello. Hi, Turtle. This is awkward.
Out of 27. And there's no way I'm getting all of those, of course. I think that last I checked, only about 40 people have managed to... Okay. Oh. Oh. Whoa. Oh, okay. Only about 40 people...
Yeah, let's see if we can get on the left side. That's a cool setup to allow for, Oh, there we go. Yes, shenanigans are afoot. We got shenanigan back.
we go. Camp Horizon. I love this stage. All right, Mario Maker 4.0 update. All stages are replaced with this one. Yeah, this is basically hold right. Right here. Hold right, hold jump, and you got it. Huh. Don't even need the power-ups. You can just damage boost. Alright, cool. We got it. We got our sub 30. 27 and change. Fantastic level, Mario Maker fan. Probably one of my favorite levels of yours so far. Hey! Kip with the 2 months. Thanks, buddy. What a guy.
He's a holographic circle bird. There he is. You see here it says he can tickle and leafage. Oh, that's fancy.
It's a tickling circle bird.
It's French.
He must be a French bird.
French tickler.
Get ready to count it down. Here we go. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff. We're doing it. This is such a beautiful rocket. It's gorgeous. Oh my gosh. I can see a lot better from this one. Oh wow.
You really said a lot like getting hanged.
Oh, the cloud barrier. There's our target over there. No, we're going the wrong way. Wow, you can really see the factory from up here.
I see why it's not working. It has something to do with this right here.
Yeah, you fixed it. Good.
On my own.
Wow. I've just found a new power.
Just take things from my inventory.
Yeah.
Basically.
Basically.
What you gotta do.
Where did that come from? Come on, please. First try! I'm already hard at work. With 1.7 out less than a week, I'm already hard at work on 1.8. Even though I have no ideas for new features yet. I had to. It was the theme. So yeah, Dabble Worlds 1.7 available now for free at dabbleworlds.com. Enjoy it, play it. We're gonna have level contests soon with in-game prizes. It's the Master Swords. They're like nunchucks. Hi, Al. Oh. Okay. This is from 2021. So this is maybe... Well, yeah, maybe. Input map. Posey. Uh-oh. I'm needed. Okay, we're good. We're good. We couldn't find the pink blanket. But it turns out it was just dark in there, and she was actually holding it. She's like, wait. Oh, this is it. Cool. Input map. There are functions for input map, including erase action. Is that what I want? This is an action. Like this. I gotta keep points from flooding the economy somehow. Actions. Alright, let's try some of these. Let's try something. Just get action. Input map. Get actions. What does this do? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, a lot of these are UI specific. So those are the ones that are not made by us. However, these are up, down, jump, debug, cancel. Okay. So get action description. No, that probably doesn't do anything, does it? Mega Jam. Yay. Action get events. Action. What are these? What do they call these? Is this an event? Are these events? These must be events. Action get events. Okay, and then I put in the action name. So up. Alright, here we go. This gives me an array of input event objects. Input event key. Give me. Let's do it this way. There we go. Key code W. Yep. Joypad motion, axis, and axis value. It's not Diddy Kong's quest. That's where they get ya. It's his Kong quest. Posey, are you being a butt? What'd you get, Posey? She'll get this. She'll get through it. She'll get through it. I'm keeping an eye on Posey. All right, we've folded out the card table to use as a barrier. She'll find a way past it regardless. Okay, so an input event. It's not bad. I can't wait for Super Mario RPG The Legend of the Seven Stars Nintendo Switch 2 edition. Jamboree TV. Okay. I think remake. Demake. There should be more demakes. Nintendo should get studios to demake their games officially. Give me Mario Odyssey, but entirely like Mario Brothers 3 style. Give me open world 2D game. We can do like a little bit of layers, but not much. Just a few layers. Okay. All right, here's the plan then. Here's the plan. We've got our input map. And we're gonna have one button for controller and one button for keyboard. Hello? Controller and keyboard. New button. And so you'll do things like, A button. And then on keyboard, it'll be like, spacebar. And then over here, it'll be like, jump. And there will be, I guess, a little doohickey, a little selector, so you can select which one you're looking at. And then you will press a button, a regular confirm button, which we will have UI hints. I think we have to. Oh, and then they're gonna need to like update and stuff. Okay, so you get the idea there. And this will be like, up is joystick up and joystick down and joystick left. So because of this, doing single button for controller and single button for keyboard means we can't have two buttons on the controller do the same thing anymore. Today, which actually I just undid this a little while ago, D-pad you can use D-pad for movement. You can't do that anymore. It's joystick only unless you remap it. So this is going to be like, WASD. You get it, you get it. You get it so far. Okay, so that's great. So what you'll do is you will press up and down to choose which input item you are changing. And then you will press the confirm button on either the controller or the keyboard. So in this case, it's normally jump or spacebar. So let's say you press spacebar. If you press spacebar, not A, specifically spacebar, then this right over here highlights. We highlight this with some kind of whoop, whoop, whoop. You are currently editing this. Whoop, whoop, whoop. and then we await input, or we just, if you wait 5 seconds or maybe 3 seconds, something pretty short, it will auto cancel. Okay, so we want, let's jot that down. 3 sec auto cancel. Or the next keyboard input specifically that is pressed becomes the new button. But we don't unmap. What if you have two buttons mapped to the same thing? Is that allowed? Do they have to be distinct? Today, and I'd have to make some changes to make this work, but today, cancel, like UI cancel, is the same button as the gear spin button. Keyboard Q, controller left joypad. So that's fine today. That would mean I would want to make sure I split those out into 2 separate actions. And then, yes, they can both be mapped to the same thing. Is there a... And this will last even on the main menu, so we got to be careful, because we're giving you enough rope to hang yourself. Like, what if you... I don't know... What if you make everything map to the same button? And then you try to fix it. You can't. Do we allow conflicting actions to be mapped to the same? That's a toughie. I guess there are some pairs that can never be the same thing, right? Like, we can't have confirm and movement or cancel and movement be the same button ever, because those are both needed for menu navigation. So those have to be distinct. So what happens if you try to map it to the same thing? Like, oh, I want to change... So you select up, and you're like, I actually want to map that to S. So you go to up, and then you hit S. And it's like, oops, now you have a problem because you can't navigate to down, because if you press down, you are also pressing up. So we should intercept that and prevent it. Highlight the conflict, I guess. We can allow some actions to be the same button. Because I guess some people might want cancel to be on a different button than the gear spin button, and that's okay. That's allowed. But cancel and confirm on the same thing is not allowed. I think that's fair. Okay. Let's look at our list of inputs today. Left, right, up, down. Jump. Debug 6. Which, does that even do anything anymore? Can we get rid of that? Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, huh. I've got 6 pause buttons. I recently added a feature where you can press a special mapped button to jump straight to a specific tab on the pause menu. TTYD did that. I don't remember if Paper Mario 64 did that, but it's very handy. Because sometimes you want to go straight to your items page. Instead of hitting pause, right, you can just press 3 on the keyboard. Okay, debug mode, not mappable. I don't think that should be remappable. Special action. What is special action? I know it's used for tossing an item. Is it used for anything else? Like, that had to be its own unique thing, didn't it? Because it couldn't be a use, it couldn't be a cancel. Couldn't be a cycled menu. I guess that could have been E. For partner ability. I guess that is okay, isn't it? Because E doesn't do anything in the pause menu, does it? No, it doesn't. So yeah, yeah, let's actually clean that up a bit. So special action. Special action in quotes. Yep, it's only used in one place in the code, right there. So we're gonna replace that with partner ability. That does, however, mean that there's a place in the actual scene Hi, Fanny Slam. Welcome in. Where special action is used in a scene, and it is this right here. Okay, it's in the pause menu scene. Container items overflow alert. Container items, you know, the overflow alert. Okay, so we're replacing that with partner ability. Pocket overflow. You get it? It's like, it doesn't matter. Okay, cool. So that means that we no longer need this input at all. Special action is no more. Done. Debug 6 is the next one on the chopping block. Some people will be happier about that than others. Debug 6, not referenced anymore. Get it on out of here. Alright, left, right, up, down. Which we're going to remove the arrow key movement for now. Left, right, up, down. Jump and cancel. Pause, partner ability. These guys are not going to be mappable. Left and right cycle. Swap order, which is also shared with partner ability. Move this page down. Who thought that was a good idea? Joypad axis 4. Ah, it's trigger and it's shoulder. Which one would I prefer? It's true, I left my phone on my desk. And somebody is sending me messages. Somebody. Joypad button, I think, is better than trigger for this. Okay, there we go. Swap order is the same as partner ability. So that's specifically for, like, combat stuff. Can I... No, you can't. You can't do it. It's not allowed. Okay, cool. All right. Pause tab. Now, something said description. And I don't know what that would mean. Huh. Input map description. Input event. An input event. This is an input event. Okay. Great. And what is this input map? Get action description. What is it? Human readable description of the given action. How do I set an action description? What does that entail? Now I'm very interested. All right, so print up and also print input map dot get action description of up. What does that mean? Oh. Get action description is not in input map? Are you sure? All right, what is A? What is the type of A? Do we know? Get action strength. What does this get action description meant to be? I can do get actions. Wait, is this something different? No, I can do action get events on input map. And it takes in action string name, but get action description just doesn't exist. Is there a mismatch here? Is this 4.6 specific? I bet this is, or something beyond 4.3. Okay, I'm on old code. If I change to 4.3 on this, input map, it's almost certainly. You saw what happened. You saw how everything went terribly wrong. Yeah, it doesn't exist in 4.3. Okay, that's why it's missing. Okay, so we can set, or we can get the events, and we can probably read all events, right? Input manager. What are we doing on input manager? Ah, look at this. Yeah. This is the thing. You can do an input reading here, and we can read events, so that's good. And then we can action add event. This input event. Oh, so we could read the input event and immediately set it as the parameter. Oh, that's great. Okay. Let's see what we can read here on our input events. All right. So, oh, that reads a lot of events. Oh, okay. There's A, held, released. 1. Okay, good. So we get the key code. What about controller? What does that look like? Oh, it's probably gonna be nuts. Whoops. Input event joypad motion. And joypad button. Okay, so joypad button, but also joypad motion. Oh, that's probably just like the little bits of, like little tiny bits of. Dead Zone needs to cover that. We'll do some kind of automatic dead zone. Okay. So this is good because that means we can tell the difference between the types, be it joypad or event key. Okay. Makes sense. I think we're in good shape. Let's try one thing here. Yeah, this is what I wanted to see, is this stuff here. Oh, look at that. Okay, if it's input event key. Now, is this smart enough to know? No. So I would have to do like a casting here. And then E dot get, or is it just E dot key code? All right, let's see a key code here. $89. Okay, $89 for Y. Temporarily, let's just do this. We're gonna try a set map. We're gonna try setting. Set action. Oop, nope. Input map dot set at dot set. No, action. Add event. And we're gonna say we're gonna add up as the event that we've been provided. If we hit Y, then we add Y to up. Let's go to something where we can use up. So right now that's up. Now if I press Y, now Y works for that. Okay. That's all the pieces. I think it's doable then. That's our proof of concept. Okay, there are concerns. I do want this to be dynamic. Well, sorry, that is to say, I want this to be that I'm not building out nodes one at a time in the editor and dragging them into position here. I want the code to do that for me so that when I add a new thing, it just works, you know? So let's do this. We've got our new it's on settings panel, controller remapping. Controller remapping. It's probably going to be probably going to look a lot like this is. So we're actually going to paste it right on there without all this stuff. That's a big old V box. We'll probably do a grid container. Pointer still makes sense. Change this to a grid container. Size of this needs to be bigger. I don't know how big it needs to be though. So let's just do some tests here. Oh, how does this work? Texture rect. Controller texture rect. Isn't that the way it works? How does a controller texture rect work? Oh, this is deprecated. Okay, never mind. It was just, you just use texture rect, and then you say, I want a new controller icon texture, and then you specify the path of left. Okay, and that's what it looks like. Nice and big and readable. And still enough room that we can probably have some kind of backdrop texture on all of these. I don't know exactly what it'll look like. How many can fit here? How many do we need to fit here? If we're doing everything. Oh, boy. We're gonna need scrolling. All right. Noted. Okay, but I'm gonna let it kind of be a little bit over. Something like that. I don't know. I don't know how many we need. Add a label using our super amazing text stuff. Setting panel. Hide this. Oh, show this, I mean. Paste in our label. Oh, interesting that this does this. That's very strange. That shouldn't do that, huh? I don't think it should do that either. I don't think it should do that either. That's better, but... Ah, there we go. Alright, so row name is going to be something like left. First texture rect is always going to be the keyboard version, and the second one is always going to be... Oh, this needs to be unique. Controller version. I mean, there's no left. Alright, well then show me jump on both of these. What do you mean there's no... Alright, hang on. Maybe at runtime. Okay, there we go. Well, we got both of them. Great. Oh, Why would you do this to me? Why is it changing? I don't want this to... force type. Ah, force type. Show mode is when it shows, and force type is what it shows as. You see. Okay, there we go. That's what we're looking for. Maybe a little bit of spacing would be useful. Grid layout. Hi, Mac. Container sizing, fill. Why is it not filling then? Keep centered. Keep aspect. No. Oh. Oh yeah, you were here earlier. And you were still here. I just glanced at chat and I didn't see any yellow. Can I get extra margin on both of these maybe? With custom minimum I can. There we go. Done. Okay, this is reasonable. All right, grid container needs 3 columns then. This one does not need a custom minimum. What are you not liking? Oh, auto wrapping. Can we not auto wrap this one? Why is this so big now? There's no reason this one needs 200 pixels, right? Oh, apparently it does. These two, I would love to have centered. Maybe this can have a custom minimum just to buy us a little bit of. 150. There we go. Okay, this is getting somewhere. We'll call this action. Oh, I apparently put some extra enters in there. Controller. Keyboard. Well, maybe, I don't know, maybe a little extra spacing here would not be a bad thing to have. Okay, cool. Great. Now then, the idea is that this... Grid container. Oh, grid container. Vertical alignment. No, I want it to. Okay, texture rect minimum. Let's adjust the minimum size. How about that? 100 pixels minimum. Now, what does it look like if I do another line? I think we can go less than 100. We can fit in a little bit more. Let's go 80. See how that looks when we. Okay, that's pretty good. It's not all of them, of course. But it's a start. The idea is we're only going to make one of them. We're only going to make one of these, and then it's going to duplicate them. Action name, keyboard bind, controller bind. So those are source items. All right, great start, great start. All right, let's start with just loading it. Let's assume we have to do scrolling. I don't see any reality where we get away with getting everything on one page, right? That's not happening. Okay. So controller remapping needs to be saved as its own scene in the pause menu. Where did this script get saved? Pause menu, controller remapping. Oh, okay. Well then, pause menu, controller remapping the scene seems perfectly fitting. Alright, so now we can work on this independently. Great. We're still gonna run it from here. Ads in 3 minutes. Here come the ads. Here come the ads. But now... Yeah, now we got this, which is a start. These could go smaller, but I don't want to get into the idea of getting it all on one page. That's just not going to happen. All right, set up action table. All right. Mappable action names. Okay, in order. Up, down, left, right. Okay. Jump. To do, we're gonna break out confirm and spin. Currently today those are overlapped with jump and cancel. This isn't going to be enough. We also need to map these to user-friendly names that could in turn be localized if we need to. So we're going to change this to a list of objects. ID is up. Name is up. You see the difference? Down, left, right. Stop auto-filling. Up, down, left, right. Jump, cancel, jump, cancel. What are some of the other ones we've got? I mean, there's pause. That's going to be remappable. Pause tab 2. Those should be remappable, but I'm not 100% sure on the name that should get. Fill out what it jumps to. Pause block. Okay, so that's enough for now. We'll fill in the rest later. Set up action table. Replace this with mappable actions, because now it's not just the names. For mappable action in mappable actions, what do I want to do with all these mappable actions? Well, want to grab our base set here that belong to the grid. And we want to generate some new ones from that. I think what I could do is load these into a separate little placeholder node. Like one that's completely distinct and... No, it would need to be a node 2D so that I can control its visibility. Base row. Take these, put it in base row, hide that. Take these 3 as our things to duplicate. And then the grid as the thing to add them to. So for now, new row name is going to be this dot duplicate. And so that is going to be of type label. So I'm going to replace the text with the mappable actions name, and then grid dot add child new row name. All right, that's step 1. New row keybind. No, new row keyboard, which is of type texture rect. And keyboard bind dot duplicate. This one is special because we need to duplicate the texture to make it unique. And the texture is not a normal texture type. No. It is a controller icon texture. Is that right? I think that's right. Whoop. How about this? Okay, that's fine. Break it apart. So this has a special thing called path. And that is going to be the mappable actions ID. And then similarly, we're going to add that. And then we're going to do the exact same thing, but replace the keyboard bind with the controller bind. New row, controller. Keyboard texture becomes controller texture. Okay, let's see if that works. WSAT space. Yeah, okay. All right, cool. All right, that's a great start. Honestly, great start. But yeah, you can see why we pretty much would have had to... Oh, this looks awful. Look at this. Look at this. These controller icons for up, down, left, right, not great. I understand why. And I think I wrote something for that, actually. Controller icon, some kind of control hint button scene. Is Is this it? Ah, there we go with this. With this. So hint button. Oh boy. Will this work? I mean, I guess so. So instead we replace action name. Oh no, this doesn't work because this doesn't have the same magic. The same controller lock on magic. Yeah, this has some extra stuff that we can use, but yeah, the controller stick icon is, and then the WASD is its own special thing. I feel like this is a slight failing on the part of this add-on. Not enough so that I'm going to branch it and make my own version. The fact that just the fact that there's no visual distinction between the different directional inputs for the left stick. Yeah, that's no good. I get it, but... Alright, also of note, no, this has gone beyond the maximum size that I allotted for it. So let's adjust. Adjust the size of, oh, that's not gonna work, is it? Not automatically, at least. Okay, I can make it work here. Okay, so let's take our longest controller remap item here. Pause partners. Yeah, I can see the problem right there, right away. That needs to be like 300. Move these back into here for now. And immediately we see the issues there. Alright, so these two... remove their custom minimums. This one's going to get 300. And these two... 200? 150, 200, 200. All right, back to it. Step at a time. All right, that's much better. Okay, next up. Now that I think about it, this whole thing should be bigger, but also shorter. Should cover the other settings thing. Okay, well now I feel like this can be a little bit bigger then. Okay, next up, can I easily Settings, panel, controller remap, backdrop, margin container, grid. No, not really. We're gonna have to complicate things a bit. Don't you love that? So instead of this being just a controller icon right off the bat, we need it to be a node that contains... I want to highlight it. Actually, is there a way... We don't have like a rect fill. It's going to be layout. No. Like if I do this, like that does some silly stuff there, but that's not going to be super useful. So we could plop a color rect into it. And then lay that onto the oh, how did that happen? Okay, that's better. Layout. Okay, that needs to be the same here, doesn't it? It's got to be 250/80. Yeah, here we go. So these color rects can both be set to alpha 0. But they can have like a color of some kind of orangish, like alert, you are currently editing this value. Okay, just default to that. Keyboard bind. Call that icon. Let's just call it icon. Okay, so now this is a color rect with a child. Okay, all right. It gets more complex suddenly. Delete these. Now update these. It's not action. Or it's these are no longer texture rects. It's now a color rect. Cool. And that means new row icon 1. And this becomes get child 0. Oh! Photon, hello. Hello, welcome in. We're doing something terrifying. It's what is it? Controller remapping code. Yikes, right? How was raid? Thank you for raid. How was stream? I'm a little sick. I'm a little bit sick tonight. Still getting better. All right. How are we looking now? It should look the exact same as last time. Uh-oh. Why is it all A's? We got such a good grade on this controller. Huh. Oh, because we're not actually. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. This should be good. 90% there. Hey, that's. Well, you know what they say, though. The first 90% of the project takes 90% of the time. and the last 10% of the project takes the other 90% of the time. Something like that. All right. This is the color rect. We're duplicating that. Confirm. Please confirm. Pause menu. Container. Settings. Panel. Controller remap. Item backdrop. Margin container. Oh my gosh. It's so many nested okay, yeah. Color rect, which contains an icon object. And the texture here this one is up and its icon is jump. Well, that shouldn't be right, should it? Doesn't love handling rigid bodies in a box when that box is traveling 200 kilometers per hour. Well, it should. Man, there's a game I've had in mind for a long time, is I've wanted to make something that's not quite FTL, but a little bit of that. The little bit of the idea of being in a spaceship in space, but actually having to manage the layout of the ship. Actually, there was this game a long while back, I remember. I never bought it or played it. I watched a little bit of it. It was Besiege or Besieged. I don't remember the specific name. But I love it. It was this idea of like you have these building blocks and you would build these little siege engines to take on various challenges in a physics sandbox. And I really like the idea of these big chunky cubes that you connect together. And I would love to do that for like a spaceship interior. Of like you can, tack on shielding and here's where the power core goes and but you need to have wire connecting that to all your systems, so you have to think carefully about where you're positioning those. And then you also have you're building a little storage bay and like you can just plop your stuff wherever, but now it's going to be flying around damaging stuff and all this other stuff. I didn't really have any significant idea of what to do with that kind of gameplay. I imagined it would be something like mining asteroids and dealing with bad spaceships. FTL had such a good system built in. Like the way that things played off of each other so well. The systems and the subsystems. Really enjoyed it. Alright, for each one of these, just print this. Oh, see that? Yeah, that's printing everything. It's printing all the things. Yeah. I did controller remapping. Did I do controller remapping? I think I laid down the groundwork for controller remapping in some game. Nothing I built in a full engine before, so that's going to be a thing. Right now I'm just doing the UI for it, and that even... We did our proof of concept. I was able to successfully read in our list of inputs, and I was able to successfully override one of them. And the rules I'm laying down are that you only get one controller button and one keyboard button per input. Technically, Godot supports more than that, but from a UI standpoint, that sounds like a nightmare. If it's like, oh, did you want to add a new button to this mapping, or did you want to replace it with a different one? Did you want to just clear them all? Oops, you cleared your ability to confirm. Sucks to be you. Is this okay? Hello? User? Are you there? So that's a scary problem to me. Like, hopefully, if someone doesn't know what to do with controller remapping, they won't touch this. But from a accessibility standpoint, it's very important to have controller remapping. Part of me was considering just making this like config file stuff, but that seems like a nightmare as well. Yeah. This is something I've been putting off for probably a year. I don't know. Great, cool. Keyboard texture dot path. Print that. That also looks great, but I can prove that that's a lie. I know you're lying to me, game. Yeah, jump. How is this different from how it was just a minute ago, though? Surely there's something. Oh, I know what it is. Oh, and it's dumb. Did we build? Wait, no. Duplicate flags. What are the flags? Signals, groups. Nope. Okay. I need a deep copy. A deep duplicate. This needs to be moved to the utility class. Oh wait, no. This is special. But it's almost right. All right. Don't need this. Is this correct? Let's say I've got that and that, and I say, okay, duplicate this. It's gonna create dupe. It's got the node and the, okay. So it's got node and child. So dupe is created. Node dot add sibling dupe. Okay, that's good. Child in node dot get children. So for every child, deep duplicate child, and then reparent the duplicated node of each to dupe. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, but yeah, that's the problem there is duplicate on the color rect is not enough. We need to deep duplicate. Oh wait, that doesn't work either. Hang on, I've got to do utility dot deep duplicate that. And then repeat. Okay. Maybe? Oh yeah, this doesn't need to be here. Nope, we've really screwed up now. Alright. Broken. That doesn't work. Do it better. Okay, fix this. So the problem is that this child, this icon child that we've got here, also needs to become well, hang on. Is that a problem? Just pause menu, container, settings, panel, remap, margin, grid. So it definitely has its own thing. Texture rect. Texture rect, it's as long as the texture itself gets duplicated, right? These are different IDs. They're different textures then. These are different textures. Yeah, remote texture 567 5916 yada 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 yada. I'm worried that, like, although the color rect duplication is fine, the subnode is wonky. I hate when my subnode is wonky. Oh, do I see this particular number listed? 50? 050? No, but it's a keyboard line I'm looking for, actually. And not... Wait, keyboard... Oh, wait, hang on. No. Okay, yeah, jump. Yeah, because that's wrong. We don't want it to be that. Okay, here we are. Eight, 9. This does not line up with the data I'm seeing here, though. Oh, because it's the texture itself. And that's not going to tell me. Yeah, that's not going to tell me this. Yeah, I think something is sharing. It shouldn't be. This is a duplicated texture. It's its own unique thing. Let me double check. Go. Yeah, just dot duplicate for the texture. And that was working moments ago. The difference now is that it's a nested node. So the parent gets duplicated. The child... What are the flags? Is there... Let's try this. Let's set it to 12. No. Dang it, I hate that it was fine mere moments ago. I mean, one option... How did this get in the playlist? Get that one out of here. This is the one I want. And this one. That's good. Yeah, texture rect. We're making a duplicate of the texture, so it's unique. Wait a second. Hey, Slav. New row icon is the color rect. Get child is the texture rect. We're duplicating that and then doing nothing with it. Dang it. That's what it is. We don't need to do that at all. New row icon can just be get the child. Duh. Okay. There we go. We're back. We're back to where we were like 10 minutes ago. Okay. Next, we need the ability to... Do I want to use a built-in scroll doohickey? That feels like it would save me some time. Of course, then I need to mess with this stuff again. Which is probably fine. How do you do this in... we want to access as unique name. And that lets us do this. Okay, here we go. And that means that we don't have to worry about... There we go. About the specific way that we access it. I should use that more often. That's really nice. Especially if we're still moving things around. Okay, so if we wanted to have, for instance... too many things, then we would want to put this grid in a scroll container, right? Okay, already that looks great. Already it's much better. However, I don't want the scroll container to actually show. Never show. Well, no, you can show. Not you. You can show. Always show. But I don't want to allow actual mouse input. Ideally. Like, I know that's silly. But I prefer if the game just didn't respond to mouse inputs at all. It just feels very weird if it sometimes does. I think instead of using the cursor, we'll just highlight the label cell. Oh look, we're... Oh yeah, that's the duplicates. Okay. Fine. So... How is the... How does the auto... I'm sure there's some kind of focus system that we can build off of for that. Okay. So let's make a change to our base row. Action name. To label. And we're going to change type of this to a color rect so that we can highlight specific ones. We're going to make it the same layout as we had here, which was 300 pixel minimum. And how does... and that's not going to work immediately because action name is not a label. Duplicate the action name. And then get child text. Here we go. Yep. You got me. Okay, the color of that should default to transparent. Okay, good. Let's remove this cursor. All right, let's have a little bit of logic. We will eventually hook up a is active flag from another script. Just so that we don't respond to input. And we're gonna have a selected index starting at 0. Oh, let's see here. They're not tricky with Godot, but it goes against sort of my goal for this game, which is to make it a very console-like game. And part of that is kind of a very consistent experience. Everything is keyboard or controller. Partially, it's just to reduce the amount of testing surface area. Because I could definitely see some weird input where, like, oh, if you click on this panel, the mouse input actually passes through and hits this button that's otherwise unavailable, which for some reason wasn't listed as for real disabled. You know, that kind of thing. It's weird, but I just want to make sure that everything that's happening in the game, I'm doing it myself and it's not automatic. Unless I want it to be automatic, in which case I want it to be automatic. Obviously. Okay, so now we know which item we are looking at. How do we scroll to that? Scroll to... we got? Scroll vertical property. Current vertical scroll value. Okay. And that's number of pixels. Oh, GQ. What a delightful impersonation of someone who knows nothing of code. Give him a soup, though. Do give him a soup. What does this take? Oh, it's not a function. Set it. So looking at this, since I've got these set to be size of 80, there's like a slight margin, it looks like, but we're gonna see what happens with that. I've just extracted 50 soups from your life. How do you feel? Goose is that cat. Let's just do this for now and see what happens. See, I guess I want it to focus proportionally. If you're at the top item, oh wait, action shouldn't be a selectable thing. Okay, well there's a, maybe we can move that outside of the grid container, like a kind of frozen header. Do that. Let's actually do that. Well, that's not gonna work. Duplicate this. Move this one outside of the scroll container. Don't give it a revoke unique name. And remove these. Completely. Grid headings are now outside of the scroll container. Why is this saying that this takes up all space? There we go. Okay, great. So why is this now taking up all space here? And I guess we could put these in a V box. Maybe this will work. Where'd all my stuff go? Get back my stuff. Okay, so that was a bad idea. Well, let's just do this again and let it be busted. Overlapping, probably. Yeah. Why, though? Scroll container down. Now it's gone. Scroll container. Can't move it. Can't move it. Centering it does that for some reason. It's like it's overlapping the grid. I would have expected those to, you know, flow around each other, but I guess not. That's fine. Because what I could do is like this. Oh wait, also. Huh. So these don't exist anymore. These need to go. These need to go away. Okay. Okay. Better. Better. Huh. Is there like a maximum max value? There's a max value. Okay. Nope, scroll container to vertical. How do I get the max value? How do I get the max value that you just mentioned? Oh no, this is something different. How do I get the range? Oh wait. Hang on now. Range is scroll no scroll bar, not a scroll container but a scroll bar, so we need to get the scroll bar, get v scroll bar, get v scroll bar, which inherits scroll bar, which inherits max size, max value. Ooh, what a nested bit. But there you go. So that gives us max value. Yeah, so now it always goes down to the very bottom. So we could say scroll ratio is selected index divided by row count, 1.0 times that. So that gives us a number from 0 to 1. And then set our max value, or scale it by our scroll ratio. Up, down, left, right, jump, cancel, pause, 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 pause. Well, it didn't do what I thought it would do. Oh, so, Huh. 468. 468, it says. Oh, this thing is 535. So I need the scroll bar's height, because I want the amount of free space, I guess. Okay. this is needlessly, I'm getting very picky here. Okay, a scroll bar has, what else? Style, icon, signals, step. Range includes ratio. Oh, so I can just set ratio. Okay. Instead of doing this, I can just say scroll bar dot ratio equals scroll ratio. Nope. It still has all this dead zone at the end because of the amount of extras. I want it to hit the bottom. But it's like, does anyone understand what I'm talking about here? Right now, it seems to be measuring ratio as the top of the scroll bar. So here, even though I'm at the bottom of the scroll window and I cannot go down any further, it seems to be considering this to be half of the scroll. I think. Yeah, we're at 0.5. And we just can't go beyond it or something. Well, it's like it can go beyond it, but it's already capped out. Godot scroll bar max. Let's see here. This thinks. Huh. Get max scroll. Final max. That doesn't make any sense. Huh. Oh, that's probably some weird quirk of Godot 3. Scroll bar max value is incorrect. Ah, is this what I'm looking for? Yes, here we go. Plus the scroll container's rectangle size. I was able to work around this in my project by doing this. V-scroll max value, V-scroll size Y. I hate this. I hate this. I get it, but I hate it. Huh. How badly do I care? Alright, grab the... So we want the bar's height. Like the actual bar. What's offset? What's offset bottom? Is that part of this? No. Is that part of this? No. What is that part of? It's part of a control object. Distance between those bottom edge and its parent control bit. That doesn't help. Work around this in my project by doing that. Oh, get offset top and offset bottom would give you the height. Right. If you scroll size. What's the size of it? Not an object. It's a control. Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff. What is a scroll bar? A miserable pile of secrets. Size is doesn't exist. Well, what were you looking at? Are you in vscroll.size? Offset top. All right, let's try it. Let's see if we get access to that. We're spending too much time on UI stuff. I'll admit it. There is a size property. Okay, okay. $535. That's the full height of the scroll, the whole scroll thing. Offset top, offset bottom. Okay, okay. So let's try this. Let's try this. But get combined is this function here, and vscroll is this. Okay. 468. That doesn't sound like enough. Wait. Oh my gosh, no, that is correct. That is correct. 468 is the actual bottom. Yuck. Ugh, okay. Gross, but okay. So I'm gonna do this times scroll ratio. Okay, so top, up, down, left, right, jump, cancel, pause, 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 pause. It's not quite making it to the bottom, it doesn't look like. Dang it. No. No. Why? Ah, because, you see. Because it shouldn't be row count. It should be row count -1 is the maximum. There we go. We got it. Okay, jeez. All right. Yeah, I'll give him a little reaction on that. I'll react to that. So we're not doing any actual controller remapping tonight, are we? We're just fiddling with UI stuff, which is fine, honestly. It's fun. All right, next step. And this is going to have to be locked down. When you're actually changing inputs, none of this code needs to be running. So we're going to wrap this in a block at some point. But it's good enough for now. Okay. So now we want to highlight the cell that is selected. I think keeping track of a old selected index would be good. Specifically, because we only need to do this scrolling stuff on change. And also to do menu sound. Okay, so that's going to break this because that property doesn't exist. So I have to relaunch. Okay. We're gonna change the color back to transparent. Which is going to be grid containers, child of, take the old select index and multiply by 3. That is the child we're interested in. That is a color rect. Old color rect dot color equals color dot transparent. Selected color rect. Is current selected index. And that's going to change to color dot. Let's see what happens. Okay, that looks great. Vertical alignment of the item name. Is bad. I would rather it be kind of more vertically aligned. It's not huge. But it'd be nice. Noting. Please. Yeah, I guess this needs to start at -1 so that we run the code when it loads. Yeah. Okay, and then you press a button. Either you press spacebar or A button, and then it all goes crazy. you know, it happens to the best of us. Jump, even though it's gonna get it's gonna get changed. We're gonna have to change a lot of these. Is action pressed jump. I've got a lot of these sprinkled around the code, and most of them should actually be a confirm action. It's just they happen to be the same button, but once we finish all this control remapping of stuff, they need to be separate actions that can have the same button. Put manager is keyboard. Edit mode. Keyboard or controller. Oh, that's no good, Mr. Mike. Oh, doing so good. Doing so good. All right. So wrap all this in edit mode. Kept freezing your computer today. Man, I had some really, not full computer lockup, but like, I tried upgrading Godot to 4.7 like a week ago, maybe half a week ago, I don't remember. It did not go well. 4.6, sorry. It did not go well at all. Every time that I took focus to another window and then tried to refocus Godot, it would hang for a solid 2 to 3 full seconds. Can you imagine like going back and forth with like documentation and the copy pasting value? Oh, it was bad. It was really bad. All right. If edit mode is blank, then do normal edit mode stuff. Go up and down, do this other stuff. Must be fixed now. Let's do it. Let's get into it. Okay. If you change something, remove the selection. Go ahead and update the scroll ratio, whatever. And then we might change the highlighting. All right, and now things get silly. We need to highlight. Let's add a highlight cell. And then we'll pass in a column. Do I pass in the row? I know what row it is. Yeah. Highlight cell, and I can set the color. There we go. And it's just gonna be this right here. grab the color rect. It's the row times 3 plus the column index. Specify that that's column index and row index, not column number. I might start thinking one index if I'm not careful. And then set the color to the provided color. Okay, so now we can do this. Highlight cell of that, comma this, and set it to clear. Yeah, see, that's a little bit nicer. Yeah, make it a little bit nicer. I don't know what color exactly we need to do here. Light goldenrod. It's 1 if we're on keyboard, else it's 2. Okay, so this is just for selecting what we're remapping. So I'm like, I want to remap the right button. So I press spacebar, and it brings me right here. Hey, CJ. And then it is awaiting input. It's not, but pretend it is. I just realized that I'm changing settings in the background while I'm doing this. Oops, it's fine. Like all this controller button pressing I'm doing is messing with stuff on the settings page behind this page. Because I haven't, that's gonna be the final piece, is like wiring this up to the actual settings menu so we can select, I'd like to remap controller stuff, and then it will flip the page over. All right. So here we go. Input key. All right. We also need to keep track of restricted pairs. For instance, up and down cannot have the same mapping. Confirm and cancel, that kind of stuff. Confirm and a lot of things, really. Confirm is not going to be allowed to be the same as many things. But some things can be the same. Up could be the same as jump, I guess. I hope you don't do that, but it's allowed. All right. So if you press a key on your keyboard and edit mode is key, then it is time to attempt to set that as the action, I guess. I need to know what the selected. I can figure out the selected action. It's mappable action sub-selected. Okay, so we have input map dot set add action add event, and then I would say something like jump, and then the event would be E. That would work. But I also need to clear out the existing keyboard-based event. All right, so what is this? Why do I have this and this? I don't need these. Selected action equals mappable action sub selected index dot ID. Let's pop that in there. But I also want to clear out the existing keyboard-based inputs. So first I need to get existing events. Input map dot action get events for the selected action. What does that get? What does that return? Array of input events. Perfect. For existing event in existing events, if the existing event is a key event, then input map dot action erase event. Nope, erase. Oh no, that was correct. Action erase event selected action existing event. There it is. That will clear all existing keyboard bindings. Do we dare? Do we dare try? Also, I need to make sure this doesn't affect things in the editor. Like, this should just be for this run of the game, right? Alright, I'm changing up to that. Did that work? I can no longer up. I can no longer up. I'm sorry. I'm trying to up as hard as I can, and the upping is not happening. Keyboard, joystick works fine. If I go back into this, what does it say that up is now bound to? Escape. Because you see, I did press escape to close out the pause menu. Yep, escape. Okay, it worked. It worked. I'll give it that. So then I want to change edit mode back to nothing after you do that. We also want to do some kind of system where we add a timer to it and say, like, if you didn't set a new key after 2 seconds or so, then we're going to assume that you freaked out and didn't want to actually make any changes, and waiting is always safe. Okay. Edit mode back to blank. And that means I need to set this back to transparent. And that should automatically update the list of keys, I think. All right, change up. Oop. It didn't automatically update the list of keys, unfortunately. But it's now spaced because I was... Okay, there needs to be a little timeout before it becomes available for edit. Okay. So we need a very brief... Oh, and the event... I need to look for... pressed. I need the key event to be pressed, not unpressed. Right? Event is pressed. Oh, no, that's, of course, that's true. I think this is fine. Because it's not going to automatically detect... Well, it might, actually. Dang it. Okay, show me that again. Let me see that in slow motion. Okay, I'm pressing space. Okay, holding it down was a bad idea because it counts that as a secondary hit. Who would do that? Who would hold the button down? Germ Dove. He would. Okay, so let's list our issues, and then we'll be done for the night. Okay, so the problems. What if player holds confirm? Don't want confirm input red as new button. Reasonable, reasonable. How to work around that? Probably a some kind of release detection of, well, how can I get that? I mean, I could just wait until the button is unpressed. Is action just released? Is that there is action just released? That might solve it. Okay, and then I say up. It remapped. It didn't change the view, but okay, I think that was the main concern. Let's get out of here. Let's go do a raid so I can get some much needed rest. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, let's go see Small. All right, there we go. You know what? This is actually coming together quicker than I anticipated. That's great. I hate this still. I wish this was easier to address. Cause look, you get this, but you don't get an arrow on this. Very annoying. Maybe we add a label to the side of, like, just a little special label that's only for joystick inputs to say, yeah, and I did that for a different thing. I've got a special scene for hint buttons for like little icons that appear in the corner, or for action commands, and this is also for like indicating whether you need to mash a button, or a special one for WASD controls that can replace some things. So if we can get that worked in, that would be nice, but it's a little bit more complex to just throw it in. We'll see. All right, I'm out of here. I'm done. I'm dead. Good night.